Grapes are much like us. To understand this, we must first look to the process of making wine. There are 5 basic components to making wine: harvesting, crushing and pressing, fermentation, blending and refining, and aging and bottling. When this process is followed, it yields a blend that is tasteful, fragrant, flavorful, and valuable. Grapes are much like us. We so often are crowded with the bunch, struggling to find our own identity. But then our wonderful Savior comes to the vineyard and handpicks us from the vine, harvesting us at the perfect time because he is able to see our full potential. The crushing of the grape occurs once we are handpicked and represents how women must oftentimes be broken from the pain and rebelliousness of the past in order to be moved to her full potential. Next comes the pressing of the grape. As women, we have all felt the constant press to make decisions. Right or wrong, we are pressed to the next level of our lives. Once we have learned from the past, the fermentation takes place, and we will begin to understand that we are no longer who we used to be and have come to accept that we have become a new thing in Christ. Throughout life, we are blended with family and friends, and through that process, we are being refined. It is in this stage that we recognize that we cannot live by the expectations of who others would have us to be, but we must become who God designed us to be. We learn to blend with the right type of people. Much like grapes, it also has to go through the blending and refining stages of development to be used to its full potential. The aging process. The aging process with wine is just like the maturing process that we have to go through. At times it may feel like we have been left alone, but it becomes necessary to us because it is during our alone times that we learn to trust and have full faith in God to complete the good work that he has begun within us. If we are not careful during this time, we can become bitter and angry. So we must also allow him to filter out any unwanted impurities just as the winemaker does the wine. Once God has made the transformation within us, from the grape to the wine, we are then sealed with his tradition and sent into the world to create a good feeling and leave a wonderful taste in the mouths of others. Our worship becomes fragrant to him. As a sister of DLG, I am ready to go out into the world and create a wonderful feeling in the lives of others.